Changing faces.
Yeah, check change faces. How we do? Yo, all of my rhymes for all of my days I trade, all of my dimes and all of my bad.
Hi, my name is Ron Corningstone, and I am interviewing William Shakespeare about his play Romeo and Juliet. Mr. Shakespeare, can you tell me why you chose to compress the entire poem into a script that only covers 4 days? How does that help you to convey the theme?
That is a good question. Compressing the story created a dramatic and intense feeling for the audience. Having the story short perfectly fits the theme because it shows how fast and powerful Romeo and Juliet's love was. I shortened the story from 2 weeks to a 4-day period to show this.
Mr. Shakespeare, what do you feel was the biggest difference between your character choices and Mr. Brooks' choices? Who had a major change, and why did you change that person from the earlier interpretation?
Methinks the biggest difference was the way I portrayed Romeo. Brooks made Romeo an angry and tough person by saying, "And in his foamy mouth his sharp and crooked tusks doth whet." To contrast that, I made Romeo a nice guy that the audience would appreciate. Also, I added in a close cousin to Romeo named Mercutio. I incorporated his death to spark Romeo's anger towards Tybalt.
Oh, very interesting answer. Why did you cut out a large part of the violence and darker moments? For example, the fight scene between Romeo and Tybalt.
I cut out a large part of the violence so it doesn't take away from the other parts of the play. Also, people don't like the main character to be mean, they want him to be likable. So I took away his rage and substituted it with a young, charming man.
Okay, next question. Could you please describe one aspect of a scene that you left in place and why you chose to do so?
I left in that Romeo killed Tybalt and the prince banished him. I kept this in because it was a good way to separate Romeo and Juliet and add drama to the rest of the story.
Why did you decide to make Tybalt a joking person in your version?
It adds comedy to the play and laughs for the audience. Also brings out how cocky his personality is. That errant fat-kidneyed flapdragon Brooks made him too serious and I wanted to change that.
Okay, Mr. Shakespeare, last question. Why did you only make Romeo have one fighting scene?
At first, I wanted to make him in more, but then realized it would make him too much like Tybalt. I wanted my main character to be a good young man that only had to fight when he had to.
Thank you, William, for your time. It was greatly appreciated, and thank you for tuning in, folks.